I'm gonna zoom in a little. Why I stopped it is that I want to just tell people that are watching, if you need a job and you're interested in truck driving, I know, and you don't have a lot of money to pay for school. For one thing, truck driving is like the easiest job to get in the States, I would have to say. If you drive by every truck you see, most every truck you see, it says we're hiring drivers, because every company is hiring drivers basically. So there's that. But the downfall is you have to pay for school, and you don't get paid much at the beginning, like your first year. But my point of my talk is that I wanted to tell people that the best, cheapest way to get a commercial license that not a lot of people might know, is that you go to like Swift, the big four huge trucking companies. Any real huge trucking company has its training program. So you go to like a terminal that's like probably a big trucking company probably has like 6 terminals all around the States. So you go to one of those, and they have like rooms, like dorm rooms, and they pay you. So you have to do school for, and this is all for free. You just walk in, you sign a contract that you're going to work there for a year. You're going to drive for them for a year. So they, after you train, so it's 8 weeks. It's 4 weeks classroom, 4 weeks driving training. But before I get into that, they also pay for your food, like, I don't know, $30 a day for food. It's boring, but you know, they have movies at the terminal, and of course showers and bathrooms and everything. So it's not terrible. They take you to Walmart and stuff. So 8 weeks, 4 classroom, 4 driver training, and that's really where you learn. The classroom's a bunch of nothing. Driver training, when you actually get behind the wheel, is when you really, depending on if your trainer's really good, that's when you really train well. And I'll give you a heads up too on that. I was, when I did it, I think legally the driver trainer is supposed to sleep during the day and you drive during the day. The trainee drives during the day. The trainer drives during the night. My trainer didn't tell me that. I was driving during the night and sleeping during the day, and it was probably the worst 4 weeks of my life, because I couldn't barely sleep during the day in a truck moving and him braking and hitting bumps and everything. And I was like falling asleep at night. So that's a little heads up. So then you driver train for 4 weeks, and you get out on your own, but then they take like 100, 150 out of your check each week to pay for the school. So you owe them like $3,000 or $4,000. So your checks are low. You're not getting a good rate. Although nowadays, I've seen like 60, 65 cents a mile. Back when I was doing it, I don't know, 12 years ago, I was getting 32 cents a mile. You can do the math. It's like $500-600 a week plus their takeout, plus taxes and whatever. So it's rough the first year. And then I suggest, so then, but you've got your commercial license, which is really valuable because you can always use it. You can, you know, drive a truck and then stop driving a truck and then go back to trucking if you want. But the cool thing about trucking, once you work for a big company, I suggest you go off to a smaller company because they treat you better. And I found a good smaller company. and I'm driving for that company since, and my checks are good, real good, and the cool thing about trucking is that you don't really have a boss, man. You just call, you get your, they tell you where to go once you are familiar with all the stops and stuff. I have a boss, you're on your own, you just drive, listen to music, talk on the phone, you know, it's cool. So that's just a little heads up. I actually try and tell everybody who asks me about getting a license about that thing about, because if you don't have $4,000 to go to school, you know, there is another way, and that's the way. All right, I'm gonna keep watching.